Hey, how's it going, young world? So today I just want to kind of sit here and conversate with you, kind of rap, let you know how things is going with me. There's some things I didn't talk about when I talked about developing the characters that are key and instrumental to the story. So one such thing is if you notice that First Brigade is set in New York City. Lord knows that my father would probably strangle me right now if he seen that my characters in this story is set in New York City. He was always a big proponent growing up when we watched stuff. Oh, there are more cities with stories. Why is New York and LA the only places where they set these movies or TV shows or fill in the blank? I didn't originally plan for it to be in New York City. I didn't have a plan for a city at all. I was originally thinking, or maybe I wasn't thinking, I just didn't know. And so at the time when I was initially coming up with this story, I was on the left coast. I was still out in San Diego. At that moment in time, I had a family member, a cousin who was living opposite side of the country in New York City. So I believe it was Hurricane Sandy. But yeah, so I had a cousin. She was living out in New York City at the time that hurricane hit the city. And so literally, I can only watch this from the TV screen from my apartment, and I'm feeling kind of like there's nothing I can do about this. There's no way I can help her, but man, she was on my mind. My cousin, it is. So as that was going on, and I'm really kind of developing my characters of First Brigade, I'm really kind of mulling over the character of Trouble and her origin. So let's fast forward a little bit. A couple of months after everything had happened, there was an issue of Matt Fracture's Hawkeye, in which his characters directly dealt with Hurricane Sandy, and it stuck with me. I was like, okay, well, maybe I can't do anything about it. For one, I'm living in San Diego too. That by this point it had happened months ago, but like I said, this idea, this hurricane was still on my head. But I can integrate it into something I was working on, and I don't know how this came about, but suddenly I figured out Trouble's origin, and it was in this hurricane. Not necessarily Sandy, but like I had an idea that okay, Trouble would become a member of this team because she was seen helping during this hurricane that hit New York City. My cousin, I don't think I mentioned, but she was working for one of the news stations at the time in New York City. So I was thinking about her profession and kind of what made it full circle. I was like, it would be kind of cool if there was a reporter on the scene, and at that point it made sense that New York would be the spot that I would set the story. I am so grateful for that because I came up with that, or that initially sunk in as like the location, but it actually took me living in New York to reinforce everything that I wanted about the character of New York in First Brigade. But more on that later.